from everything that I've worked with them on. So I'll stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ron Keel, architect and general contractor. My wife and I have been heavily involved in legislation with the county, new ordinance with the short-term rental issues that we have in mind. So I've been to many county meetings, many meetings with the supervisor. This is a hell of a group here, with a lot of opinions, and I think everybody's kind of saying the same thing, with the exception of somebody who wants to get be careful, you can get yourself shot.
Try not to.
But the key to getting your voice heard is to show up to the supervisor's meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If only 2 or 3 you show up, they figure nobody cares.
Yep.
And I can tell you, we tried hard back when I've been working on this short-term rental thing for 4 years, and we'd be lucky to get 3 or 4 or 6, 8 people maybe. If this group shows up with a voice, saying the same thing that you're all saying, they're going to hear you. So get involved. Mike Reed and some others, I don't know who all sort of organizing this group, but make sure you guys get your emails to them. Sorry to hijack your meeting, Dan. You got to get organized. You got to show up. You got to coordinate what it is you want to say. You got to make sure you're not wasting your 2 or 3 minutes up there babbling about God knows what. Get to the point. And then lastly, on your presentation, if you could turn 1 page back, please, Brandon. The next one. Now, I think it's a little misleading on this presentation, and I really take exception to the fact that you're showing the 400 acres as it was originally planned at 20-acre parcels when they're currently approved for 5. You need to show 5 acres. Because right now the disparity between that and everything around it isn't as bad as you're showing. For every one of those outlying lots, there's actually 4 lots in there. And that 4 lot per each of your 20, those 5 acres, when you demonstrate it that way, it's going to blend in with the 5-acre lots that are right next to it. Which is some other people's points here about move forward with the 5-acre plan that you have. I think it is very misleading. I think it's actually unconscionable that you're doing that when it's approved for 5. Don't show something that's 20 years old. Show what's current today. Okay, please.
So I'll speak to that. This is partially my exhibit and partially not my exhibit.
Okay.
And it's not my exhibit because these lines you see here are from the county's GIS website. So if this parcel configuration is different, the county's GIS is wrong. So I'll make it a point. I will. Well, that should reflect what's approved today. But if it's wrong, that's fine. I'll go back and double check the county's GIS for sure. So the purple here, is that what you're talking about? So that's the other designation that we want to propose for this property, and that's the Rural Community Foundation. This is that exists today. That's correct. That's not our project. No, it's just this portion here. Question back. So, to be clear, this is a foundation general plan amendment. It's not a zone change. We are here. Any zone change element to this occurs here. So it's 5 steps down the road, part of an implementing project application. But if we are successful with the foundation change, we wouldn't need a zone change. We would just proceed with the implementing project and have the FGP approved at the same time. So I mentioned that earlier. I would say as early as 2 to 3. Yeah.
What's the construction? Are we talking about 2 fits in a high fire area? Are we talking about steel frame? What are we talking?
No idea at this point. We're not that far.
It's a good idea, again.
Sure.
Looking at the fires in LA County.
Well, I would imagine, our goal is for larger equestrian estate type residential, not unlike, something that you might see conceptually here. So if it is, I don't know the type of construction. We don't even know the layout of any of the buildings yet, but we'll get to that for sure on the type of material.
In many cases, a lot better. It's a lot more fire resistant. I know that allows good pressure if you build it fire.
That would be a county, possibly state issue, but yes, question.
I had a question. Earlier in your presentation, you were saying of those 400 and some acres, not all is going to be buildable, but you are planning an average of 2 acres per household. Taking into account that you can't build on all of that, you're going to have a new line. So, will there be half acre lots? Or are you telling us that no 2 acres per home?
No half-acre lots. We are, the application requires us to designate a foundation element, and we feel that the rural community is the designation that fits for this property. So, and that's what designates the 2 acre, size. So, yeah, that wouldn't be applicable to the rural. That is my understanding. Yes. We haven't decided yet. That would be a good question for us to answer. So the question is, how long can this process go in terms of, since we submitted in 2024, how long until it rolls over into the next cycle? And to answer, it's not in our control. We've been wanting to go to hearings as soon as possible, but the county has not scheduled. We're at the county's mercy for the schedule. So I check in once every 2 weeks. Hey, what's going on with the schedule? When are we going to be scheduled? Absolutely. And as the gentleman with the hat said in the back, encouraged to go. And obviously, I'm hoping for some positivity for the application. We don't know. That is actually part of the CEQA process is called an initial study. The initial study determines the CEQA document we have to prepare. A consultant that we don't hire, the county works with, does the initial study and tells us if it's an EIR, negative declaration, MND, mitigated negative declaration. We're not sure yet. We don't know.
Is that it?
I doubt it too. I at the very least it'd be an MND, but could be an EIR. Most likely, actually, I think it'll probably be an EIR. That's my guess. Question in the back. So we had what's called a GPIP hearing several months ago, and then, gosh, when was the planning commission?
Been going over a year.
November? Is it a year? A year, yeah. The first one's a year.
Which is why you guys kept going back to the drawing board.
And you kept pushing it back.
Because we pushed you there. And we're going to continue to push you back to the foundation the way it is. I know the breaking point is 2.5 for you to make money.
I will.
With all that infrastructure you're bring in, you probably ain't going to make any money on 5 acres.
I'll apologize for the first delay. That was my fault. But I was sick. I had 104-degree fever. I wasn't going to make it, so I had to postpone for you. I apologize for those.
And I know this is one of the check boxes. It's with Riverside County. You have to have a community meeting and outreach where you guys can come back.
So just real quick on that, and then I'll come back to you. Hold on one second. So community meetings are not required for the FGPA. We are electively wanting to meet early.
It was requested at the last meeting with planning department, we were at with you, and that was one of the requirements you needed to do before we go to the supervisor.
Understood, yes. I can't remember which planning commissioner mentioned it, but you're right. She did come out and say, you need to go to the community meeting and reach out. Absolutely. We were going to do it either way. I have a couple other applications that I'm working on, and we're doing the same thing. Question?
I'm going to down a little bit here. Have a turn, but I'm going to.
I can tell you for a moment. On these lots, how big of homes are you planning on putting on, or what square footage are you planning to put on that? Because that makes a big difference here too.
Very good question. I wish I had an answer, but I don't.
What's your estimate?
I mean, if I were to guess, maybe anywhere from 2,000, 2,500, maybe upwards. I mean, you might have somebody who would want it upwards of, 3,000 square feet. I don't know.
Well, that means
So it depends on the applicant's desire to move quickly into construction. If it's not desired, we would hold off on doing what we would call a plot plan application, where you identify the unit, the elevations, the architecture. So I'm not going to say that's going to be determined in section 2, but it will definitely be a part of section 2 through 7. It just depends on the desire. Question?
Thank you. I, like many of us here, have been in this community for many years. And I want to say this without hurting your feelings for the developer, but I resent the fact that those of us who are here built our own homes, put in our own wells, put in our own septic system, improve our properties, improve our roads. And I've been patient trying to understand the logic of this developer in these ways. One, why would a developer buy 400 and some acres without the absolute knowledge that they would have water? Because EMWD or Metro Water may not serve us at all. So that means of those 100 and some homes, there's 100 wells, there's 100 septic systems. I don't find this logical at all. And I'm just being honest and fair. And fair with all of us who've spent our lives developing properties under the county rules of 5 acres. I live in 15 acres to start this hill. And I find this, the access for roads, the water, for fire, how are we fighting a fire? Well, they're in tanks. Everyone will have a 5,000 gallon water tank on that side. So the numbers don't add up, especially at 2 acres. They don't add up at 5 acres with the terrain you have when you finish grading. So I look forward to that supervisor's meeting, because I'm going to do what this gentleman said, be there and make have voice. Thank you.
Absolutely. And just to respond, I respect that. I can appreciate the background, building your own home, managing your own property. I was going to say the same thing. With the 5 acres, it's kind of the same, not the exact same. Obviously, what we're proposing has more lots. But, I envision this as not terribly much different than, what you might have done. And it could certainly go this way where
Oh, it's a lot different.
a lot. Well, excuse me. Let me finish. So, lots might be made available for somebody to come and build a home that they want and customize a lot, customize the barn in their backyard, have property, maybe not 15 acres, but 2 acres is manageable. So that's what we're trying to get to, is a manageable lot size. Somebody can still live in a rural area. 2 acres is still a lot, still a lot to manage, maintain, for certain individuals. So that's our goal, is to, and that might be the route we go.
I'll just say this last thing. I have 15, I tried to do a lot split. If the county was fair to all of us, they wouldn't make these silly ass rules about certain things that allow us to do what we want to do, but they don't. And here you are now trying to do what we have tried to do, and they denied it, so good luck.
Yeah, I'll just say there's a total vacuum here as far as information